it's T with Teaquilts, and today is Saturday, July 18, 2020, and it is almost 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I just came into the room a few minutes early so people will get notifications so that they can come on into the chat. Hope everybody is doing well. All right. So we'll just wait until 7 for people to come in. And I can just go ahead and do a few seams. I just realized, I'm like, girl, you better watch the bob and make sure you got enough. But I must have changed it recently. It's at least 3/4 full. So I'll stop in a couple of minutes. We got one more minute before 9 p.m. Okay. I've been in this room working on other stuff, so I got all of my pieces in different spots and other stuff in here that I'm still working on, so yeah. Okay, let's see. So it's 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you all so much for coming to the live chat. Appreciate you all spending time here. Tonight is sewing chat, so I'll be doing sewing in between, reading some of the comments, and I'm sure I can't keep up with the comments on a regular night, so I'm sure I'm not going to be able to keep up with them while I'm sewing. So if I don't read your comment, just keep putting it in there or something. That's all I can say at this point. First person here at 7:50 with C-Rex AT. You're getting later and later. I had to place y'all near my pillow last Saturday. No, we start at 9 p.m. on Saturdays, not at 7. We start at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, so that the people on the West Coast can attend, because when I do the 7 p.m. on Wednesdays, it's a little bit difficult for them to get home from work, try to feed themselves or their families, and to listen to the live. So we go a little bit later on Saturday night. Dee Dee is here. She says, I am here early for once. Yes. Ellie Scrapper says, evening tea and everyone. Larissa here, also known as Ellie Scrapper. Hi, Larissa. Robin Boyd here saying, me too, very early. Yes, indeed. Wind Sprinter was here saying hello from Maryland. Quilt Gal says, hi, tea and everyone. Hot and humid in Maryland today. Dee Dee says it was hot and humid in Michigan too. Lake Michigan is 15 degrees above normal now due to the extreme heat we've been having. Robin Boyd is saying hi to Larissa, I'm assuming. C. Diane Johnson says hello from Amarillo, Texas. Hi, welcome to the channel. Appreciate you stopping in. Hope you're still here. Diane 57 is here saying hi to everybody. Says hot and humid here. Normal this time of year. Yes, honey. Texas is a great place, but I don't know if I could live in Texas in the summertime. Robin is quilting on her mid-arm, trying to finish her daughter's quilt this weekend. That's pretty cool. Robin says, I want to start on a pineapple quilt soon as the pattern gets here. So everything has been mailed. So hopefully you all will get them pretty soon. Sheila Willis is here saying hi, Teaquilters. Hi, Sheila. She says it's hot here in Tennessee, too. June Hansen is here saying hi, Miss T and all. Cheryl Kloops here saying good evening, T and everyone. Vicky Lemire is saying hello. Yogi Castillo is here saying hello, beautiful lady. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Michael Piccarelli is here. He says, hey, beautiful. Thanks for lunch the other day. We had a blast. Love hanging with you because we double team Kevin and I love it. That is funny. Tucker is here. Hi, Tucker. He says, hey, everyone. I thought it was just PA that was hot. No, it's hot everywhere. Tiffany is here. Tiffany, hey, girl. I know you were under the weather earlier in the week, so I hope you're feeling better. She says, hi, T and everyone. Mary says, hi to everybody. 110 heat index here in Hades or Topeka. I may not be on Wednesday. My son turns 30. That can't be right. He wants to go to Fogo de Chão in Kansas City. I'll watch the reruns. Alrighty, girl. Have fun. LA Quinn is here saying, hiya, everyone. Diane says, sounds familiar, T. Kevin is here. He says, yes, it's tea time. Hey, T Quilters, don't believe a word T says about my bad influence on her pocketbook. Laughing out loud. Yes. Neither one of us were expecting to spend any money, that's for sure. So for those who don't even know what we're talking about, you know, if you're not in a Facebook group, Kevin and I went back to Jackman's Fabric because they announced that they were having some kind of backdoor sale. And we were like, well, what do they have? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's just fabric. I don't know. I've never been to one. And he had never been to one. So we went thinking that they weren't going to have anything. But what they ended up having was things for people that coordinate groups. They had like reasonably priced items that you could buy in bulk for door prizes or attendee prizes or big drawings. So we had a good time. Maybe on Wednesday I'll do a haul video on what I got. Maybe we'll see. If I remember. Kim Burris is here. She says, hi, TNT Quilters. I have company, so can't stay. Just wanted to say hi and God bless. Thank you, Kim. Bye, Kim. Have fun. Regina Connor is here saying hello to all. So glad to be here with you all. And Diane says, I have alarm set. Yeah, because Diane has slept through some of the lives on Saturday nights because it is pretty late for other people. You know, when you start getting into the Eastern time zone, it's 10 o'clock already for them. So, Nisi Moss here saying, hey, T and everybody, welcome back. Michelle Anderson says, hello all, glad to be on the number one more time. Glad to be on the number one more time. Welcome, Michelle. Appreciate you stopping in. Linda Robinson is here. Says, hi, T and everyone. Love your top. Looks great on you. Thank you. I just got out the tub. I said, let me go ahead and take a bath. I was in there for about an hour just chilling. And I'm ready for bed. I had to put on a shirt just to come in here to do this live. And then I'll put on a sleeping shirt when I get ready to go to bed. But I'm half ready for bed. I got my pajamas on. But thank you so much. Sin Forrest is here. She says, hi, T and everyone. Virgie says, hello, T and everyone. Sue says, hi, T and all. I made it to the party. Woohoo! Yes. Tiffany says, it's also hot in Arizona. It's always hot in Arizona, I think. Dee Dee Hanson wants to know how many pineapple patterns were mailed out. I think it was 13 I had made only 10 the first time, the first time around, so I had to go back and make another 10 set of 10 patterns. So 13, that was pretty good. But then some people ordered other patterns and or t-shirts. So I've had a real crazy few days here, but great. I appreciate the support. So, if, I got to do something in my day. It just depends on what I'm doing. Let's see. Sin says, love your tie-dye shirt. Fabulous. Thank you so much. Sonia Smithart is here. She says, thank you for your tips. They help a lot. Thank you for coming onto the live chat and commenting with us. Appreciate your time as well. You're more than welcome. Deanna J says, hi, T and everyone from California. Welcome, Deanna J. Teresa says, hi, T and everyone. Larissa says, I missed the last chat. I was nursing a bad tooth that I can't get out until Thursday. Yes, it was 101 here today in Virginia, and it's 10 p.m. It's 89 degrees. Just too hot. Yes, indeed. We got Claudette Bettis. Hi, Claudette. She says, hello, T and everyone. Kathy Klein is here. Says, hi, everyone from Decatur, Illinois. Hi, Kathy. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate your time. Lisa Peg is here. Says, hello, Miss T and everyone. Hey, Lisa. Tiffany's Quilting Life says it's only 7 p.m. here. It's not yet sundown. It's mainly pool time when you come on. I still watch from the pool. Sandra Agger says, hi from East Palo Alto, California. Welcome. Appreciate your time here tonight. Susan Martin is here saying, hi, everyone. So sorry I'm late. And Diane says, laughing out loud, I will wear that shirt to sleep in. Yeah, but I don't, it's got glitter on. It's glitter vinyl, so it's kind of scratchy. So, nope, I won't be sleeping in this. That is funny. Susan says, I forgot to say I'm watching from Clearmont, Florida. All right, Susan. So, yeah, so for those that don't know what tonight is Sew and Chat. So I go through, try to do 10 to 15 minutes of reading some of the chat comments, and then I try to do 10 to 15 minutes of actual sewing. Sometimes I get to sew. Most times I don't get to sew a whole lot, okay, because I do go back and forth in the chat. So welcome to the Sew and Chat. I appreciate you taking your time to spend it with us tonight. We're here till 11 p.m. I also chat on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, but that's a 1 hour chat. Sometimes I go over. And what I'm actually working on tonight is pineapple blocks that I've die cut with my Quilt die cutting system. And I had some people asking for a pattern, so that's why they were asking how many patterns were mailed out. I had a couple of people ask me for the pattern, but I ended up selling like 13 of the patterns. So I appreciate you all support. I try to help people when they have questions or need help, so it's kind of difficult to write a pattern and be detailed for just 2 people. So I appreciate the other 11 of you also purchasing a pattern. So let's see, I got some more comments here. Shara Trucker, she says, hi from my truck. Hubby wanted driving. Wait a minute, I'm watching. Okay, pretty cool. Thank you. That's pretty awesome. I've seen some quilters that have setups in semis. Pretty cool. Betty Harris is here saying, hello, everyone. Went to a wedding today. So hot. It was outside. Yes, honey. Probably the only way I would go to a wedding if it was outside and I can control my space, but it's going to be hot outside. So, yeah. So that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start sewing my pieces. I had started sewing 4 pieces. I left off last time. I had made 8 blocks, but since I made the pattern, I also made another 4 blocks because I tend to work on them in 4 so I can chain piece. So that's where I'm at. I'm actually just working on doing my rounds. I'm on round number 3 of 9, I think, if you count the corners. So I really like this layout. I am thinking I want to make 100 blocks, but I may only make 80 and then put a border on the outside. I'm not sure yet. I did a whole lot of cutting since last week. I told you all that on Wednesday. I gave away some of the scraps, things that I was tired of looking at. So I gave away crumb and string bags on Wednesday during my live. And those bags also went out today. Between your orders for the patterns and shirts and patterns and shirts, yeah, and the gift bags, everything went out yesterday or today, so I have nothing to mail now. So I'll show these blocks after I get these 4 pieces on the sides on, because it doesn't make sense when I'm sewing in the middle. It kind of looks weird for me to show it to you. That's why you haven't seen it. It just looks strange. So I'll wait till I get all 4 pieces on, and then I'll show it to you after I've sewed on round 3. So if you're putting anything in the chat for me, just know I can't see it right now. But I'll try to go back and read some. Sometimes I miss comments because the chat fills up so fast. I can't figure out where I even left off sometimes. So I like to chain piece instead of just working on one block at a time, so I'm not constantly breaking my thread. Saves thread, and then I'm using that thread to sew something else. So, and I put starch in my fabric prior to cutting, so I'm just using a wooden iron to press in between, and then I only press with a regular iron at the end before I put it on my design wall. So I got on 2 lights, now I got to put on 2 darks. And this quilt basically will have any and everything that I put my hands on. There is no color scheme as far as what can go in and not go in. The only thing I'm trying not to do is use a whole lot of blacks or a whole lot of fabrics where black is very dominant in the background. And that's because I'm using black as an accent. For those that got the pattern, do note that there is a difference between your C and D template. I put on the templates whenever the template was a duplicate already given to you. I did write it on one of the templates that there was another one that was a duplicate. And C and D looks like it's the same, but it's just slightly different. This is the 4th piece for round 3. So I'll show it to you after this. The beginning rounds are quick to sew. It's when they start getting longer and longer pieces, the rounds take a little while to get through. Put that one over there. Take these 4 off, and then I'll press, and then I'll show you round 3. So these have just been pressed with an iron, so they're not going to stand up nice and bright, but they'll do enough to hold on. But this is what I'm making here. Pineapple got so many different ways that you can set the pineapples. And this is actually my pineapple quilt number 2. However, I've done 3 different sets of blocks. I got another set of 48 blocks that I started after I started this one. That's in a different setting as well. So I am right now trying to make some different variations of pineapple blocks, and probably will at some point develop a lecture for it, but I just need to get more quilts made. So whenever I decide I'm going to do a lecture on a topic, then I start making a lot of quilts on that topic, or seeing if I have anything already in my stash on that topic. And for this one, I do not. So that's why I'm having to sew. And this was a good time to do it because I could use the sew along to do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. I just pull out enough pieces so that I don't have to keep stopping, and try to make sure I don't get duplicates, so I can have choices on what I'm pulling from. So all of these are duplicates. Forgot 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I need 2 more, 12. Okay, so that's 12, and now I need just 4. Let me read some comments before I start sewing round number 4. Let's see, I gotta go back, figure out where I started. Let's see. June says, I'm making PJ tonight for granddaughter. That's pretty cool. You know, I can't even remember if I made a pair of pajamas. I know that I had bought a pattern like years ago when I was sewing, but I don't even remember if I made them or not. Larissa says, T, where did you get your seam press? You know, I have contacted that company. I've called them, and I have also emailed them, and I haven't gotten any response. But when I did that, it probably was around early April. So maybe I'll try to contact them again and see if I can get any response from them. Because there is no need in me telling you where I got it from if there's nothing going on, because you can't order on their website. So I need to verify how you all can order. I normally get my product from them when I go to major quilt shows, but we're not having that right now. So I will try to contact them again. I think originally they probably were closed and they could have been like backlogged with messages and emails and just haven't responded to anything and just did a clean slate. So I'll try again and see if I can get through to them. Cynthia Shade is here. She says, hello, T and all Teaquilters. Welcome, Cynthia. Mary saying Kevin should come on over on Wednesday so we can see his haul. Yeah, right. Kevin normally is working on Wednesdays. Carolyn Bowser says, good evening, T and fellow quilters. Hope all are doing well and staying safe. Hi, Carolyn. Welcome back. Yogi says, I just bought my Get Ready Set Go AccuQuilt Go Cutter for Mother's Day gift. I don't have the GOG cutter for the pineapple. You don't have the block on board. I'm assuming she's trying to say cutter for the pineapple. Yeah, but the pineapple one, it really cuts really nice. And I don't know if they've changed how they've made their blades from in the past, because I know I've had terrible times with things getting caught all in between the blades, but none of that happened, not one time, while I've been cutting these pineapple pieces. And this is my second quilt that I cut from the Go system, and I've been cutting a lot of pieces. So I love this pineapple die. Sin is asking T, is the pattern still available? Do we need AccuQuilt die to make it, or can we do crazy style? Cut and trim as we sew. Thanks. I guess you could do that if you wanted to. I think it's a whole lot easier to cut all your pieces out and then have them ready, because I just did a system where I had to trim after sewing strips on. And to me, the sewing and then stopping to cut, the sewing and then stopping to cut, it was very tedious to me. I just prefer to have my pieces cut, and then as I'm sewing, everything is matching up. I'm not having to trim anything. The pattern is still available. You can get it on my website, and through the end of the month, the pattern is $15, but you're paying $12 for it, and then it's going to add $3 shipping. I'm paying for your shipping until the end of the month only. And then what else? In the pattern, I also include the AccuQuilt die cuts. So if you want to cut strips, I tell you what size strip to cut, and then you can just cut your pieces off of the strip. So that's what I would recommend doing. You can take the templates are cut out of a heavy duty cardstock. They're a little bit thicker than regular cardstock that you would print on. But you may want to transfer those over to Quilter's template plastic. But that's up to you. But I would cut strips and then use those templates and then cut along the sides. And then if you've got any little dog-eared pieces, I would cut those little dog ears off too, because even though it's like a little piece, it makes a difference when you're lining up your pieces. But can you cut and trim? Yes, you can. You can do that too. But I just did not like that system of stopping to trim all the time. And then also, if you're going to put your blocks together, you're going to run into the probability that your blocks are not going to line all up. You may have to end up using some kind of sashing, so then you won't be using exactly this pattern that I'm selling. Website is www.teaquilts.com/products if you just want to go straight to my products page, or you can just go to teaquilts.com and then click on the link for products, and then you'll have to scroll down past the t-shirts. The t-shirts are on there first, then the patterns are underneath the t-shirts. Sands her doorbell ring and says she'll be right back. Diane says, so awesome, T. Thank you. Joan Elkins is here. She says, hi, T and everyone. Hi, Joan. She says, I did not know you had a web page until last Wednesday. That's funny. I keep looking at your Facebook page and wonder why you didn't have anything listed. So I ordered the patterns, but am not in any hurry. Your stuff went into the mail today, girl. You're going to get your stuff soon. Diane57 says, Sam wants to know if the patterns are still available. I answered that. Terry T is here saying, hello, everyone. I'm late as usual. It's pretty, you're never late. It's whenever you get here. Just thankful you come in. You haven't been that late anyway. We started at 9 p.m. tonight. Mary says, that was a nice giveaway, T. You were awesome. And thinking of that giveaway, that was funny because I wanted to make sure everybody had a pound of strings and crumbs, right? So then when it came time to mailing, I kept having PayPal not allowing me to just send it first class mail. They wanted me to send it priority. And I had no idea that at 1 pound, you couldn't send but through priority. So that was a learning experience for me. So the next bags that I do, they will be like 14 ounces, so that by the time I get the packaging on them and the shipping label, that they will still be under 1 pound. So that was, I spent so much money on shipping, it was ridiculous. But it's over and done. I learned something new, which is always a good thing to learn something new. But it was fun to give them away. Let's see. Teresa McCormick is here. She says, good evening, T and all. Carolyn says, that die made it easy, and I was able to make blocks faster. And I'm glad I got a second. I don't ever want to have to trim another pineapple quilt. It's not like you're making wacky log cabin quilts. When you're making something that has 8 sides and then you want those 8 angles to line up, it's a little bit more tedious to be squaring up after sewing every strip. You're going to have to be more perfect with your sewing. You got to make sure all of your fabrics are cut 100%. And what I pulled was a box that had 1.5 inch strips. So maybe I cut all of those from other scraps. Maybe some were just slightly smaller. Some could have been slightly larger. You just never know when you're die cutting bulk stuff. And yeah, I just felt like it was a little bit more tedious than I wanted it to be for me. That was just for me. Doris Owen is here saying, good evening, T and T Quilters. Sorry I'm late. I hope everyone is having a good evening. Hi, Doris. She's the reason we're here on Saturday nights. Cheryl Randall says hello. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. And Teresa saying, not well today, just sleeping lots. I don't know if it's you or somebody else, but I hope you feel better, Teresa. Sin says, does the pattern state the die number? Yes, it does in the part 1 of cutting. I got one over here because I had to use it to reference when I was marking my pieces on the die. So yes, it does. Let's see. I lost my spot. Hold on. That was Sin. Larissa says, T, what will you charge me to cut all the pieces to make the quilt you are doing now? Because I don't have AccuQuilt. You know, I have no idea because I've been doing so many cutting, so many other things that I don't even know how much time it has taken me to actually cut this thing. And since mine's is going to be bigger than the pattern, I didn't want to like overwhelm you guys because I was thinking I might do 100 blocks. And then I thought even 80 blocks might be a lot for somebody. So I did a setting that's 6 by 6. So it's 36 blocks, and the quilt they're 10-inch finished blocks, so it'll be a 60 by 60 quilt. And I know that most quilters know how to keep making stuff and adjusting, but I just needed to make something to make it stop. And I didn't want to overwhelm people because in that quilt, you've got 1,332 pieces, okay, for that size. I'm talking about doubling that. So I have not even been doing any kind of time on cutting. I have absolutely no idea how that will work. I don't know. Let me think about that, because I'm thinking if I told you, if you have the pattern and you cut your pieces into those rectangles that I tell you to cut, if everything is already pressed, cut, and ready to go, it wouldn't take as long. I can put like 6 to 8 pieces on at a time. So that's how much time it would take to go through there. But it would have to be some work on your part before it even got to me, because I don't want to do all the pre-cutting to like get the pieces ready for my die board. Shaquita Pearson is here. Hi, Shaquita. She says, hi, TN, everyone. Sue says, I haven't cut out the pineapple block yet, but I also have the glorified 9-patch die and have that cut and almost halfway through with the sewing. And I have that die too. That's another one that I want to do. At one point, I thought I had made kits that I sold those. And I don't know if I got any more of those available or not. I can't even remember. But I'll look and see. But I never pieced one myself. I just had people wanting the kit. But I never got through it myself. Patricia Colalucio is here. Says, sorry to get here late. What is she putting together? I'm sewing on these pineapple blocks right here. They are kind of set. It looks a little weird. I'm putting my lights in particular spots, and my other colors are in a particular spot. But that's what I'm working on. And thanks, Mary, for also telling her what it is. Thanks, Sandra. She says this die number 55485. Let me just make sure I got it typed right in here. That's correct. I didn't even think to read the die number out. Also, if you all purchase from AccuQuilt, I really would appreciate if you use my AccuQuilt affiliate link down under any video in the description. They'll give me like a 5% kickback or whatever you purchase, which is really nice since I kind of promote their products. Cheryl Bing says, hello, T and everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. Cian says, thank you. Guess I need to buy the AccuQuilt now. You know, and it can be expensive to get the AccuQuilt, but I would get it whenever they have some kind of sale. Sometimes when they have like sales that are more than 20% off, I'll kind of tell you sometimes in Teaquilts group, but then I'm on my Facebook page. And then sometimes I don't want to just overwhelm people with sale stuff, so I don't put it out there all the time. But if you all want me to start putting, they kind of sometimes will let affiliates know a little bit ahead sometimes on what's coming up, or they'll send us a special email telling us a special that may not be announced on the website until you actually go to the website. So sometimes they don't send everything out in emails. The yoga mate is working great. I'm glad I could put it to work. Laughing out loud. Oh, the yoga mat. Yes, honey, that's good. Melissa says, sorry I'm late, and she's reminding everybody to hit the thumbs up. Welcome, Melissa LePage. And Mary saying, thanks for the reminder. Darcel says, hi to Mary. Hope you're getting a lot of quilting done. Let's see. Patricia says, I have the Cube 6 mix and something. Had the companion set to go with and never used. And I do have a couple of those. And the reason why I have a couple of the kit things is because I inadvertently have them before they started making those cubes. I had already had all of my pieces separate, so I don't have the official box for like my 12-inch blocks. But I think I bought the companion to the 12-inch, I think is what I bought the pieces, because I still had a lot of pieces that were the same too. And I think I have the 8-inch finished blocks that I got from somebody else when I bought the Go Electric I got a steel. I got the 1 cube, a 2.5-inch strip die. I got 2 other dies. One die I had already. Might have been the chisel. I can't remember. And then I got something else. And then they had a few cutting mats with it. And I got all of that with the Go Big electric for $450 or something like that. So I sold the 2.5-inch strip die. I think I sold the other extra die, whatever it was that I had. So I ended up making some of the money back. So I made a mint on that deal. And I only bought the Go Electric because I really cut on my studio die cutter, which is also Quilt. I only bought the other one because if I teach classes, it'll be faster for people to cut. It's just another machine that I can use. And Mary has gotten mask orders. Oh my goodness, I don't even want to hear that anymore. But a lot more places are starting to require you to have masks, so I can see the demand now is increasing again. Let's see. We got Francesca Fino here. Hi, Francesca. She says hi, T and everyone. We got Teajuana Montreal here. She says hi, T and everyone. Hello and welcome to you as well. Gramps is here saying hello, everyone. Welcome back. And let's see. Char says, I used to waste tons of fabric before Quilt. I was always in a hurry to cut pieces at home because we are only 2 to 3 days per home time. And she says, I've miscut hundreds of dollars. Love my bobs and cues. And bobs are blocks on board, and the cues are the cubes. And she's correct. And you're going to waste fabric cutting with a die cutting system on some things. It just depends on what it is that you're cutting. On this pineapple one, you're gonna have some waste, but I had a lot of waste that I showed you all when I was doing the cut and trim method. What did I do with that container? It was a lot. And yeah, this top section here, whoops, I just dropped it. And dropped you. I gotta come around, guys. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I got strapped. I got these fabrics everywhere. Uh-oh. Got to get the orientation back right. Uh-oh. I don't know why this is... Okay, I think I moved this out. Right there. Sorry, guys. I went to show you I have an issue with carpal tunnel, and every once in a while I drop stuff. This is only half of what's down here on the floor now. I got to pick up, okay? So you have a lot of trimmings. This is from 48 blocks, and this is only half of it. So I kept it to show you all that, and I had forgot where I put it. So let me go back to the front. I'm trying to get these pieces. And let me at least get this tray up so I don't drop it again. And put these in, and then I'll just come back and pick this up. But down here I have a trolley that I use to go on retreats. And I have all of my Go dies stored down there. So that's where my big boards, my long ones, my strips, and any long dies. So that's where you all fail. But let me close this up because I don't want this to open up again. That was horrible. And I still got pieces down there. But I don't know, you know, I just kept it because people need to know that they say die cutting, that you waste a lot of fabric when you're die cutting. But even in regular cutting, you're wasting a lot of fabric. So if I'm going to waste fabric either way, I'd rather die cut and save time and not worry about the fabric waste at that point. So let me see what you all saying. I know y'all was laughing, and did y'all jump and get scared? That is funny. Let's see. Yep, Larissa says, T, my husband is eavesdropping again. He is saying, what new machine I need now? That is funny. I don't know much about AccuQuilt. So I can tell you, me, laughing out loud, me the one I should start out with. Which one should I start out with? Me personally, if you are a prolific crafter and you normally are good with gadgets and you know that you're going to use it, I wouldn't get a minimum of an AccuQuilt Go. Now, if you think you have issues with turning something, then I would get the Go Big Electric. And the reason why I say that is because they have a group of things called block on boards. Now, the pineapple die is considered a block on board. However, it will run in even the Go Baby because it's only 6 inches wide. But some blocks on boards come very big. They're over like 10, 12 inches wide. I don't know what size that die is. And it's pretty huge, and it's not going to go into your AccuQuilt, the regular AccuQuilt Go. You need the Go Big Electric. So it just depends on your budget. How much you think that you're going to use it is what I would recommend. And then if you're thinking about getting one, check with me first and let me see if they've got any kind of specials or anything that may not be advertised. So now you all are really seeing this. But yeah, because I try to make it so when people buy it, like you're either getting some stuff free or they've really got at a greater discount. Sometimes they don't, like Go Dies. The basic you'll see Go Dies for, it's like 20 or 25% off. But then there are times that they may say, we'll give you 30% off or half off, something like that. When they tell you you buy one and get one half off, you're basically just getting 25% off. So that to me is not a big deal. I like to get stuff when it's more than 25% off. So I try to let you all know when they had just ended one at the end of June where they had those machines on sale. They had the Go Big Electric for, I think it was $200 off or something. But that one ended. Cheryl says, I'm making a pineapple block with the pineapple trim tool. 110-inch blocks, solid cone back as the background with Afrocentric fabrics. And that's going to be really pretty. I like that. And Sherry Willingham is here. Says, where are you selling the masks? At Doris, if I may ask. And see, Doris has answered. And Sin says, I'm with you at LA Scrapper. Probably the electric model for this old dame. And that's what I was saying. It just depends. I had the Go, and I had used it for a number of years, like say 3 or 4 years, and it was out of warranty. So, and at one point, my handle wouldn't turn at all, forward or backwards. So I just contacted the company, and I knew it was out of warranty because I had it more than a year, of course. And I was just trying to ask them, you know, if it was worth me sending in to them. Approximately how much would it cost? I just did email, and they emailed me back. So they got excellent customer service. They emailed me back and said, you send it in and we'll fix it. But what they ended up doing when I sent it in, they sent me back one that had been refurbished. So I didn't get my one back, which I was okay with because they sent it back to me pretty fast. But I didn't know I was going to get it back that fast. So what I ended up doing was I ended up buying the Studio because I felt like if I'm going to have this issue with the handle on the Go because I'm using it excessively, then I didn't want to have that issue anymore. So I bought the Studio die cutter in the interim. So I got the Studio cutter, bought the adapter so that I could still use my Go dies on the Studio. And that machine, that Studio, cuts like butter. It's a whole different type of turning. And I have never had the Studio hurt my hand when I was turning like it is on the die. It's on the Go. It's a little bit tighter of a turn. It's kind of weird. But it's two different die cutting systems in those blades. And that's the difference. So if you think you're going to have carpal tunnel, don't like, you think if your hand gets fatigued, if you're cutting, then I would recommend you at least get the Go Big or get the Studio. Now the Studio dies cost more. The Studio can cut AccuQuilt Go dies and Studio dies with an adapter. And you can cut more fabric with the Studio cutter as well. So it just depends. I'm going to be ripping. It just depends on your pocketbook and then your actual quilting style and where you are as far as things hurting. So I love my Studio. Once I got the Studio, this was years ago. I wasn't in the teaching at the time. I was just cutting from, well, I was in the teaching, but I wasn't in the teaching about AccuQuilt system. And I sold the Go. I sold it on eBay. Sold it. And I had bought, because I could cut more fabric on the Studio. And then the Studio dies were bigger at the time because they didn't have the Go Big. And so I was able to cut more 2.5-inch strips if I got the bigger Studio die strip. So I bought new strips. And then when I sold my Go, I sold it as a package with dies. So yeah. And then I like Facebook Marketplace. I sometimes scroll Facebook Marketplace just looking for stuff, and I was actually just looking for people that were trying to sell Studio dies, which I haven't been that fortunate to find yet. But I happened to fall into somebody selling that Go Big Electric. And it was like a 4-hour ride almost to Chicago. But because it was only $450 with all the stuff that she had included, I decided, I told my husband on a Sunday, I said, come on, we finna go for a ride. He talked about where we going. I took him on a ride and we went and picked that up. And it was, I had just got my car, so it was a good thing for me to break my car in. I had my car about a month and I needed to put it on the highway. And it worked out just perfect. As you sow, so shall you rip. But I will tell you all, I do more ripping when I'm with you all. I don't sing rip by myself, but I apparently can't talk, video record, and sew at the same time, okay? It is what it is. And I sewed 2 of them together wrong. I just put the light in the wrong spot. They've got to be in the right spot or the design will not pop out at the end. And Kevin talking about, what are you doing selling our dies? It was a duplicate. You didn't need, I already had it. That's too funny. And Patricia says that she's been binge watching AccuQuilt on YouTube. And I do have a playlist of some AccuQuilt stuff. Like I have where I used the chisels and did like a windmill block. So you might want to also look at my playlist. I think I have a playlist for AccuQuilt or die cutting, not necessarily AccuQuilt, because I do have a few Sizzix dies as well. But I have a Sizzix die cutting machine as well. Somebody did tell me that they've used the Go dies in the Sizzix system. I think that's what they said, yeah. But you can't use the Sizzix dies in the Go system. But you can use it on the Studio. That's it. And Diane saying, I need to get the pineapple die. Yogi says, I wish I'd known when I got my get ready, set, go. I could have said your name. Now, you have to go through and use the links. the affiliate links that we give you. I list them on my Facebook page, and I also list them in my video description. But it'll be another time. You'll probably need some dies at some point. So it's just anything that you buy, not just the diamond, the cutting system. Anything you purchase over there, I'll get a little credit for it. And, you know, it's easy for me to promote something that I use. So it's not like I'm promoting something to you all that I don't use. And most people here know that if it's bad, or if I don't like it, I won't, first of all, I probably won't even do the video. Or if I do the video, you probably won't see it because they didn't approve my video, okay? Because if something's not right, I'll tell you what's not right about it. So, but this is one thing that I do use, is my die cutting system. Sherry says, hi T, I'm from Missouri, North County. You're close. Do you go to Kevin the Quilter's scrap quilting club or anything like that? She says North County. So she's over here by me somewhere. We may have to meet at the quilt shop. Like another excuse to go to Jackman's. That's pretty cool. I put the yoga mat under my sewing machine to reduce the noise and jiggling, and it's working. I've had it for 15 years and only used it twice. Yeah, I always have a mat. This is like one of those tablecloth mats. It's pretty wide that I got at Walmart, and they're really cheap, like less than $5 or something like that. But you know, right now, everything is going up, okay? I went to Sam's today. They no longer, my husband eats Ritz crackers like they're cookies. And they no longer have the big box. They had a box that was less than half the size of the original box, but at the same price. I was like, oh Lord, we're about to start feeling the pain of this pandemic really, really soon. Yep, it's gonna start hitting us in our pockets. Diane says love strip dies. Yogi says I'm planning on buying the 8-inch companions. And I need to start doing, I haven't even done any videos because it's just so much that I can do with these things. And then I got stuck on the pineapples, you know. That's kind of how it happens. But I do have like one of my AccuQuilt videos. It's the rainbow quilt where I did a row quilt. And then I used different of the AccuQuilt die boards for each row. That was pretty fun. And I'm now laughing at Yogi. No, not Yogi. Sin, who says, earthquake tea style. Yes, honey. I can have a piece of paper in my hand. And when my hand decides to give out, it just goes. It just goes. So I've been having more problem with it lately, hurting. I've had it x-rayed like 10 years ago. And they said nothing was showing up in the x-ray. So lately I've been having some issues with it. And I'm hoping that when I go back to the doctor that they will be able to see something now in the x-ray since it's now hurting more. But I'm, you know, I was just dropping stuff out of my hand, but I had no pain. Now I'm having pain, so we shall see. But I'm gonna hold off on that because I'm trying only to go to doctors when it's absolutely necessary right now, just to try to help them to stay out of their way when they're dealing with all the other stuff going on in the world. So I've got, these are just my chain pieces. I just start other blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I got I got a lot of pieces up on here already that's pre-cut on the Quilt system. And I pray I don't drop this because I'm going to cry if I drop this. So I'm not going to tilt it. So you're not going to see it all. But these are my light pieces. And then these are my medium and dark fabrics. So it's just a combination of mediums and darks. And then here are my half square triangles. This is my center square. And then back here, this is my accent piece that goes before my half square triangles. But I got more fabric than that because I got more pieces in another tray like this as well. So these are kind of duplicates to what's up there. So I have them just pulled out so I'm not dealing with as many duplicates at one time. But when you're making planning to make 100 pineapple blocks, it's okay to have some duplicates. You just don't want to be using them all in the same block or having to repeat fabrics in a block. So I'm just trying to keep them separated. But I got a lot of pieces cut. And I don't even count. I'm just cutting, okay? I'm like, each block takes, let's see, 37 pieces if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to need a lot of blocks. A lot of pieces. And Kevin the Quilter laughing out loud. We were dropped. You are hilarious, T. I knew you all were going to cut up when I dropped that camera. I do use strip dies from Patricia. Teresa says, now my head hurts. I'm sorry I dropped you guys. Bergie goes, help, I've fallen. Sin going, oopsie. And y'all something else. Help me up. I'm stuck. Doris all says, Kevin, sorry I spelled your name incorrect. When Sprinter is here, says, wow, that set off my vertigo. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I think I hit my little head. I knew that one was going to cause some issues. I pulled the whole, when I dropped it, my cord is plugged in right here, and I'm still finding some of these pieces even on the table. And so the container fell right across the cord and just took you all out. Welcome to the Sewing Chat. An earthquake. Sandra says, I jumped. I kind of figured you would because I jumped too. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm glad that I had my sewing machine case right on the other side of my desk, because if not, it would have hit my iPad would have hit the hardwood floor. Glad I had that there, or it would have gone in and tried to hit them die boards in there. Ain't no telling what it would have done if that case wasn't there. Goodness gracious. Scared me. Sin says, I have the Sizzix Big Shot. Wonder if they have a pineapple die. Yeah, because that's something to consider. They do have what they call Bigs dies. I think it's B-I-G-S. I can't remember how they spell it. But they have big dies that you can cut fabric with as well. So if you got a die system, you got that system, I would check with that first, most definitely, before buying anything new. And I don't know how many pieces you can cut, but I'm sure they'll let you know, because I barely use it. I barely use the dies. Those were my earlier dies, because I had my first die cutting was because of paper crafting. So I wasn't cutting fabric with it. And then I did buy a couple of their dies. But then when AccuQuilt came out and they had more stuff and you could cut more pieces and bigger areas, then I just switched over to AccuQuilt, and I haven't really used my Sizzix stuff much. Sheila says, yes, I would like to know when AccuQuilt is on sale for good price. I am not sure which one I want to get, the Go Big or the electric one. Sheila, join Teaquilts on Facebook. Teaquilts LLC on Facebook, because that's where I'll tend to post. Sometimes I'll put community posts up on my YouTube page, but if you're not subscribed and if you don't hit the notification bell, you really don't know that those notifications are there. So, because when they sometimes run stuff, sometimes it'll be just a couple of days, other times it may be a week or two. But the next one they have, where they have a good special on the die cutting systems, I'll let you all know. They always have specials where the studio dies are 50% off. Now, people say that the studio dies cost more, but they hardly ever put gold dies at 50% off. The studio dies, they do it all the time. Vivian Calvi is here. Hi, Vivian. How are you? Trying to think. Yeah, you should have got notification from PayPal that your package shipped out today. And I also sent you back a shipping credit too, Vivian. So make sure you check on that as well. See. Patricia says, if I could do over, I would get the studio just to get the larger dies. Yeah, you can always, I mean, if the studio goes on sale too. Sometimes they're by themselves when they're on sale, and sometimes they have them with bundled into a kit. But you can also sell your go. People are still buying the regular, whatever die cutting system you have, not necessarily the go. But you can sell what you don't need, you know. That's what I did. I sold mine. I bought the studio because I'm thinking that they're going to have this machine refurbishing it for a few weeks. I don't have time for that. And then they put the studio on sale. So I went and bought it. And then they had my machine back within a week. I'm like, oh, well, I never used the Go again once I got that studio. But I do use the Go Electric because it's a little bit smaller. And when I'm pressing my fabrics, like my scraps to cut, I can, if it's a Go die, like this pineapple one, I can press. And I got that machine on the edge of my ironing board. So it just makes it easier for me to go ahead and cut. Whereas my studio would take up almost the entire ironing board. I wouldn't have a place to iron, okay? So, yeah, I do like the Go Big Electric. If it was a regular Go, I wouldn't even have used it. And now I need to put another Go die in it just to see if I put an old one in there to see if I'm going to have issues with fabric going down into the crevices, or is it just that they've changed the new dye since I bought that pineapple? Because it cut really, really good. That I didn't have anything sticking down in any of the die blades. I was really impressed with this pineapple die. I don't even have my picker out. Just get rid of that. Okay, I think I'm hearing people fireworks again. We hadn't heard fireworks in a while, and then they came back last night. I think we had like the Saturday, whatever the 4th was on, and then the next day we had them, and then after that we haven't had any. And them jokers came back last night. So they got some more money. And I hear a dog out there too. Patricia has to go big. Okay. It was up under her other comment. Joan says, I just went to AccuQuilt and it says 150 off. Went through your affiliate. Wow. That's awesome. Thank you, Joan. I didn't even know they had it off because they were doing like 20% off gold dye. So I haven't looked. And well, let me back up. I've been busy with orders since Wednesday. So that's probably why I didn't know. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. And that's when I buy stuff, when they give you, most times they'll say 20% off, but 20% off is not a whole lot. When they start talking about hundreds of dollars, that's when it's time to jump on. And I will tell you that if you think, you know, like with most things, you think this is too much, I'll just wait till they lower the price or something. The prices on these things keep going up. They're not getting lower. Even when they come out with a new die cutter, the other stuff don't go down. It's just amazing to me. But the demand for it is so high that they can do that. So you gotta wait for a good deal. So thank you, Joan. I appreciate that. T, is there a pineapple die for the studio too? Yes, there is a pineapple die for the studio. I always, like me being an affiliate, I'm always sending AccuQuilt emails. They never respond back to me. But when they first came out with the pineapple die, I wanted to do the pineapple. And I constantly wrote them for like 2 years saying, can you please make a pineapple die on the studio? And they never did. So I went ahead, they had a sale on the gold dyes that was more than the 20% off. So I went ahead and bought the pineapple die because I really wanted it bad. Soon as I bought it, like within a month, they came back with the die on the Studio 2. The Studio 2 is the only difference in the Studio 1 and the Studio 2 is that the Studio 2 has a kit on it that you can pull the arms up for storage, which I had a Studio 1 when I bought it. The 2 wasn't out, and I just bought the kit to make it so that it was a 2, but that's the only difference between the two. And yeah, so the pineapple die on the Studio will make your blocks 12 inches. They have one more round. So these are 10 inches. The Studio would be 12 inches. So I just did round number 4. That's all I got. I don't get much sewing done here, guys, because I'm too busy chatting with you all. But it's called a sewing chat, so that's what it is. Some people like to see me sew, so that's why I do these. Trying to see which sides I need. 1, 2. Just getting my next pieces ready. Okay. The nice thing about just cutting this in all scraps too is that I never have to worry about running out of fabric. I can always add in more fabric. Diane says, AccuQuilt electric if cranking would be a problem, or the Studio if you don't mind cranking. But I'm saying, you know, when they tell you something that, like knives and something that cuts like butter, the Studio handle is that same analogy. It's like cutting like butter. It's totally different than the handle that's on the Go. So keep that in mind as well. I have not seen a Studio cutter in the stores in a long time. They're used to, when Studio die cutters first came out, they weren't even marketed toward the home quilter. They were marketed toward your stores, where you used to could go to your store, you pay them so much per hour, and you could cut your own fabric. Some stores said you had to buy your fabric from them. Other stores said they didn't mind. But I have not seen a Studio cutter in a store in many years. But I'm happy that I have it. I love it. And I have no problem with that handle. Um, So Studio is here saying hi to everyone. Welcome to the chat. Teresa says that was the most fun excitement I had in a long time. That probably that drop. um, I don't know what Patricia is giving the measurements for. I must have missed something in the chat. And Tiffany saying she's not as chatty because she's in the pool. Have to dry her hands to chat. Laughing out loud. Girl, you better not touch that phone. Why can't I use it when it storms and YouTube is off? I don't know. I don't know what she's asking. I'm confused, Patricia. Do you, they're talking to Tiffany. And Diane's singing song Seam Ripper with me. Okay. I'm so far behind on chats. And Mary says, T, I have both wrists with carpal tunnel fixed. Okay. One of these days I'm going to get it done, but at the time when I was first experiencing it, they were saying that, you know, they couldn't even see it in an x-ray. So it had to get more developed. So one of these days I'll be ending up with carpal tunnel surgery. I'm not looking forward to it. I just don't want my hand to hurt. My hand hurts so bad I had to get some of that pain stuff that you roll on your pain, whatever joint you're having pain. I had to roll that stuff on my hand in order to get it to stop. It hurt so bad. But it did it 2 days in a row and then it kind of stopped. And I have been wearing like a glove. My husband has a bowling glove that has the little metal stuff in it so that it holds your hand into position correctly. So I was wearing his glove, his bowling glove, for 2 days. It worked though. And I think it was because when I started doing this pineapple quilt and then I was going through all the scrap containers and stuff, I was doing a lot of cutting, rotary cutting, just to get pieces into the approximate size. And I don't normally do a whole lot of rotary cutting. I square my quilts up. That's normally about it. I don't do a whole lot of rotary cutting. So yeah, my hand just wasn't having it. I got an extra piece down here. Yes, I do. Kevin the Quilter saying, can I go too? Yes. Yes, if I meet with anybody and you available, Kevin, you can definitely go. So she says she's been to Jackman. So that's Sherry. Sherry, email me. It's all Teaquilts at teaquilts.com. So the next time they have some kind of sale or something, or we're going to Jackman's, we'll make sure we contact you so we can meet up. We'll be having a mask meetup. Yeah, they have social distancing in the store. They also have hand sanitizer at the door. Jackman's is really doing a great job with they have somebody that's counting people as they go in and out so they know that they're not over capacity. But Jackman's is a huge place, so it would take a lot of people to make them over capacity. But they are doing it right. And they don't have their regular hours. They're still operating on, they used to do like 2 days a week where they were open to 9 p.m. I think. And they don't do that anymore. They close every day now, I think at 5 if I'm not mistaken. But they are doing it right to be, you know, if they're going to be open. And Ellie says, I want the large electrical. I am a technical person and I do enjoy gadgets. Yeah, so I feel like with your room and what you're getting into that you would really enjoy having to go big electric. And I feel like you would use it as well, you know, from the journey that you're going on now. If it was a new person talking about buying die cutting and you didn't even know if you really like quilting yet, I probably wouldn't recommend you buy a Go Electric. But I love it. I haven't had any issues with it. The only issue I've had is I thought that it had a timer to go off. Like if it was on and not being used for a certain period of time, I thought it turned itself off. I don't know where I got that from, but it does not. And so I left it on because I thought that it would cut off. I came back in here and started sewing some pieces that I had cut when I was trying to make the block. And then when I went back in there to press the final blocks, I had been in here for a while making 4 blocks with 37 pieces. So when I got back around there, I realized that it does not shut off by itself. So I thought it had a automatic off switch. But other than that, it's good. Like I said, I'm pressing on one end of a standard ironing board, 15-inch ironing board, and it's even on the tip part, you know, so it's down on the lighter end, and it has not moved or budged, but it is on a carpeted floor. So, and then I'm using the other end to press my pieces and to prep on the other end. So I really like it. Now my studio would have taken up about 2/3 of that ironing board. So, and this is really my first time using the Go a whole lot. The Go Big Electric. Because I normally cut on my studio. Okay, this is an extra piece. I'm so far behind, guys. Kevin says Costco has the big box of Ritz crackers. I would get your hubby some. You so crazy. He did get the smaller box when we went yesterday. It was just that they are ripping people off. Teresa says I had my right wrist fixed for carpal tunnel. Did you have both done at the same time? She's talking to Mary. Sue Hill is here. Says hello from South Dakota. Hi, welcome to the channel. And Sherry says I am in beginning quilting, watching YouTube videos and learning. And that's pretty cool. That means you're motivated too. So awesome. Sin's telling me to request nerve conduction study. Important and very diagnostic. I speak from experience. Okay. I'm going to have to write that on my pineapple pattern because I have no other paper in here. Nerve. All right, I got you, Sin. Thank you. Let me, what time is it? 10:21. See, I don't do any sewing when I'm with you all. I started on round 3. I'm on round number... I'm on round 6 out of 9. They take longer to sew as they get bigger, of course. but I also been trying to chat. I'm so far behind on chat, it's ridiculous. Take this and see, and then I chain piece on other blocks as I'm making my 4. So this is how your blocks start out, with 2 darks and 2 lights. Looks a little weird, but that's how it starts. Carrie Care E says, hello Teajuana, what tool are you using to press your seams with? I call it a wooden iron. I bought it from a shop that's located in Missouri, and I have been trying to get in touch with them so that I can get them, because they don't have a for sale on their site, and I have not been able to get them to respond to emails or telephone calls. But what I will do is I will try them one more time, because when I was trying to get them before, it was in early April when I was stalking them trying to get information. And I will make sure that I get back to you all. I'll try again on Monday and see if I can get them. Maybe they're back open. Maybe they could have been away. You know, some people are snowbirds. People leave Missouri to go other places in the winter. So it could be a number of reasons why. And I'm sure that they could have been bombarded with emails and phone calls when they got back. And they probably, if it was probably me and I was gone for months, I probably would erase everything too. I'm just saying. That's a lot. And like I said, they really don't sell to individuals. They mostly sell to they sell at quilt shows, so they're not doing sales online. They travel all over to the quilt shows, and then that's it. But we haven't had any, so I don't know what their status is. But I will get back to you. And the reason why I'm saying that is because they have matching tools and everything that go with this, like seam rippers and all of that kind of stuff. And I didn't even need this. I bought this, and then I bought 2 of them actually, because I just wanted to support them coming to the quilt show. It was either at Rosemont, Illinois Quilt Festival or Paducah. I can't remember which one, because I go to both, or went to both. And I bought 2 of them and did one as a drawing. So it's in a video somewhere where, you know, but like I said, they haven't been responding, so I'm not sure what the status is. I just pray they didn't get COVID or anything like that too, you know, but I'm gonna hope that they just went away for the winter, like most people in Missouri do. Some people do in this area, because they don't like the cold. Thank you, Sin. She sent me a super chat. Thank you so much. She says, thanks, T, for another fun evening. Fun evening. Thumbs up, everyone, and night-night. So she's leaving. We'll be on here till 11 p.m. for those that want to know how long I'm going to be on here live. Sherry is asking me to shoot her the email again, because it put me down to the bottom, so maybe I'll read from the bottom up. But it's Teaquilts at teaquilts.com. That's my email. Claire Raleigh, she makes the wooden iron. She's on YouTube and she's a quilter. That's not this one though. Leetta says, hi T, sorry I'm late. Hi Leetta, welcome. Mary says you may have to drop the sewing chat for just a chat. But some people said they wanted to see me sew. Nina Boyer says, she says, hi Miss T, I've been making your spiderweb quilt almost done. Thank you for your help. You are so welcome. I'm glad you were enjoying it. Nice. Virgie says, am I going blind or is T out of focus? I look like I'm in focus, but my glasses are still kind of lopsided because I still got the wrong arm on this side. But I look in focus to me. Gave Sherry the email. I want to see how you got your Go Big Electric on your ironing board. Girl, that's in another room. I'll take a picture of it or something. I don't know. It's just on the end of the tip. It ain't nothing special. I didn't do anything special. I'm just trying to work in a limited little space. And then I use the other part of the ironing board to press my fabrics and figure out what it is I'm going to use or not, if it's big enough. So that's 2. And Diane says, I would join you at a mass get together. Diane, you in Houston. You coming to St. Louis? I am not driving anywhere. I talked to my mom this week. Once she got home, she did call and let me know she got home, but I haven't really been talking to her a whole lot because I had told her that she was on quarantine. So I think she's been calling my other relatives getting stuff. But she's on a 2-week quarantine because she went and flew to Birmingham to attend a funeral service. Her and my aunt, 2 80 and 81-year-old ladies, gonna just travel by themselves. She's a mess. But I gotta take her some Lysol. So that's what she needs. So I'll take her Lysol tomorrow. I'll put it at her door, and then I'll call and tell her while I'm still sitting in her driveway to send one of my brothers to the door to pick it up. But she's a hot mess. Okay, so I just finished round 6, I think. Let me press this, and then I'll show you as it's growing. Just showed you the start. Oops, I didn't cut them all. Okay. If only it wasn't so far to go from my house to T. You got that right, Diane. Yes, hunty. When I come to Texas for the show, we doing 2 days of driving. So that's dedication. But the drive is nice because we do stop at quilt shops on the way. On the way back home, we tend to just hit it back home. Well, one time I went through Arkansas and went to Marshall's Dry Goods. Phyllis G says, just want to drop in and say hi to everyone from North Carolina. Hi, Phyllis. Yogi says, do you think I might be able to upgrade to the studio? I want to return mine for the studio now. I don't know, but you know what I would do is I would call them. If you just bought it brand new and you're talking about spending more money, they may let you do it if you haven't had it like 30 days or something like that. Maybe I would try. All they can say is no, but you at least know that you at least asked. Quilting for the Soul is here. Saying hello, T, and everyone. Hi and welcome. And Ellie says, T, all I have to do is go to your link in the comment section below. Yes, you just go to I have my affiliate links under all of my videos. So any video that's uploaded, I don't know if it's going to be on this one yet because it's not technically uploaded, but any video that's been uploaded, my information is in the video description. Mary says, T, do you have all of the block pieces cut? I have a lot of pieces cut. I have no idea if I have enough of anything. I'm just cutting pieces. I have a lot of pieces cut. I'm sure I'm going to be needing more pieces because I'm talking about making this into a bed-size quilt. Let's see. If I'm making, say if I was making the 100 by 100, so I'm making 100 blocks, that would be 3,700 pieces. I need a lot of pieces. For the one where you're doing the 6 by 6 in my pattern, that's 1,332 pieces. So it's a lot of pieces. Each block has 37 pieces. Yogi says, I'm getting some ideas to sell my Get Ready, Set, Go and buy the studio. If it's new though, if you just got it, I would call them, because if you're gonna buy a bigger one, they may be willing to do that. Sue is asking, have you used the log cabin die? No, I have not, but I do have it, and so that's one of those videos I do need to do. She says, I don't see how to lay it out unless you do scrappy. But see, I'm one of those people that will do it scrappy. I wouldn't pick like one fabric for each log and make it. I'm one of those people that would do it scrappy, so I probably won't be your best help for that. And Joan is saying that the electric one is on sale. I'm actually reading backwards, and I think I am caught up now. T, I just remembered that I haven't touched that stimulus money yet. It's not like I have to go in my husband's pocket again. That's Ellie. I was reading backwards. I know what she finna do. That is funny. We quilters are something else, aren't we? Let's see. Joni Foot says, hi T, sorry I'm late, but I am here. Yay, yes. We got another 26 minutes in the room here, at least. My husband, he laughs at us because I tell him before I get on, he says, you going live tonight? And I go, yes. And he says, how long are you going to be on? I'm going to get off on time tonight. He says, yeah, right. He's not buying it. Mary says, T, my hands didn't hurt, but they went to sleep before I did a lot of nighttime, laughing out loud. Yeah, and that's when mine's mostly hurt, mostly when I was chilling and relaxing, and then my hand would just act a fool. And Tiffany says, okay, I'm back, phone is dry. Dewana says, my sinuses are killing me, can't see now. And that's what I am constantly taking every day. Flonase, nasal spray, and Allegra D 24 hour. My sinuses are not playing. I don't know what's going on in 2020. Yogi saying, good night, beautiful lady, and all the friendly quilters. Bye, Yogi. Hope you had some fun tonight. Sherry says, laughing out loud, look like I got something going with meeting up, laughing out loud. That's right. Fergie says, T, your video is out of focus. But it's not out of focus when I'm looking at it. Anybody else is saying that I'm out of focus? And she's asking if anybody else has noticed. Quilting for the Soul is saying to Luana, I hope you feel better. Me too. I must have missed it. I'm sorry. Linda Robinson says, T, do you use disappearing ink fabric marker? If so, what brand do you like? I do use the disappearing ink, the purple ink. I like that because once you mark it, it take about 3 or 4 days and it'll completely disappear out of your quilt. Whereas with the blue marker, the one where you have to wet it to get it out, sometimes you can wash the whole quilt and then it's still not all come out because of how it was in the washing machine. So I tend not to use that because I find that the ink starts spreading throughout the batting and stuff, and so it shows up somewhere else in a light spot. So, but I do like the disappearing ink. What brand? I don't know. I just buy the brand that has, I actually buy the pen that has the disappearing ink and the blue on the same pen, but I can't remember what brand. It's by my Longworm. That's where I tend to use it. Sorry about that, Linda. I can try to remember and look at it at another point and get you a brand. Let's see. Yeah, Tiffany's gonna need a waterproof phone case, isn't she? Playing with them children in the pool. And Diane says, my hubby don't care on Saturday. That's funny. He just laughed because I'm telling him that I'm going to get off on time, and he's saying, no, you're not. And Diane says, you're in focus here in Texas. Because I'm like, I'm in focus here on my screen. I don't know what to do. And Sheila's saying I'm in focus. So something's up, Virgie. Check your settings. You may have, you know, sometimes YouTube, when they feel like the so many people are using, like from your carrier maybe, they'll automatically downgrade your viewing on YouTube. So that could have happened. Kevin the Quilter says, girl, you are on point. Not out of focus. Gonna go to bed now. Body night. Bye, Kevin. See you next time. I'll call you tomorrow. We'll video chat. Diane's given the name of a marking pen, but I don't know if that's the name brand I got. It'll take me a couple minutes to go over there because it's on the opposite side of my long arm if I'm trying to get that. So I don't want to go and leave the chat that long. And Mary saying good night to Kevin and all the chickens. The chickens already been put to bed probably. They go to bed before it get dark. And Joan Elkin saying she's headed that way too. Diane says, Virgie, restart your computer or tablet. Yeah, because once they put you on that low thing, it's going to stay that way. So you're going to have to almost reboot in order to get out of it. Joan Elkin says, thanks, we're all safe here. I hear you about the mask. It's depressing. So, Mark Be Gone is what Mary is saying that she uses. So, okay, and I just don't know what name is. Let me see if I got one in here that's just the blue. I hardly ever use that stuff in here. So I just don't even see it. Nope. Kind of figured I didn't. Oh, I got one in here. But this is a different. Yeah, this is Mark Be Gone. But I get the. See, this says Erasable Fabric Marking Pen. This is it by itself. But it don't have a brand name on it. Erasable Fabric Marking Pen. Doesn't have a name on it. But I also have one, a pen that has this on one end and then this blue one on the other end. And I hardly ever use this. Because it's hard to get out. It depends on what I'm doing. That's my desperation move right there. I'm just trying to make sure it's not in another drawer somewhere. Hold on, guys. I got notions drawer everywhere. Just trying to see if I got another one somewhere. Nope. Glues and free check. Lotion. And those are just pads. I saw pens in here. I thought maybe they could have been one slid in there, but that's just regular pens and pencils. So I don't have what I actually use here, but that purple pen is one that I would use. And I'm sure that I just buy those at Joann's when they have 50% off sewing and quilting notions. So Linda saying thank you for the information, guys. You're so welcome, Linda. We try to be helpful over here. If we can help, we will. So, let's see. Oops. I'm just pulling some fabrics for my next round. Easier to pull. It's easy to pull 4 lights. What round is this? 7? Let me see. 1, 2. Nope, I'm on 6. I thought I was on. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm doing 6 now. I counted wrong while I had the first time. You don't want to sew this in the wrong spot and have to redo it either. So pay attention, Teajuana. I have to talk to myself. I think I'm caught up with comments, so that's good. Bye, Shar. She's headed to bed. Says night-night to everybody. Linda says, thanks, T. I appreciate you looking for the pen. No problem. And I'll try to remember to pull it in here on Wednesday and try to do it at the first part of Wednesday's chat if I remember. That's if I remember. But I'll try. So good night. We got only about 16 more minutes if we end on time. So not much longer. So nobody told me what they were working on tonight, though. What are you all working on? Or are you just listening to the chat today? Diane says, I used the erasable pen once. Marked whole quilt. Went to sleep to quilt in the morning. Got up, dressed, ready to quilt, and wanted to scream. My marks were all gone. Yes. And it depends on your humidity. And because you're in Texas, that probably would happen to you. And I'm in that middle range where I can get a day or two out of it. It just depends on where you are. When I put that purple pen on, I'm ready to go. I'm talking about within hours, because that pen don't play. You are so correct. That is funny. It wasn't funny at the time, but I'm laughing at it because I know you was looking at that quilt like, oh my goodness. Yep. That pen don't mess around. But I can see that happening in Texas. All right. I need 4 C's. 1, 2, 3, 4. On my chain pieces, so I may as well just put you over here. Got the next pieces ready. Thank you, Melissa. She sent the $5 super chat. Let me see what people are saying. She says, I appreciate how fast you got that pattern finished and posted for sale. You are so welcome. And my husband, he doesn't understand. A lot of people that don't craft, He has no craft. His hobby is bowling. That's what he likes to do, and that's more of a sport. And so he doesn't really craft. He's a machinist, but he really doesn't like doing anything else with his hands. He go to work and he don't really want to do anything else. So he doesn't understand quilters. And he said, "You gonna make a pattern for 2 people?" I'm like, I don't like to, but when they ask me, and then people, I knew Melissa really wanted it, but she didn't have a die cutting system. And I say, sometimes you just do things for people just to do it for people. It has nothing to do about whether you're going to make any money or not. So I did it for Melissa. So thank you, Melissa. Appreciate that. Everything isn't about making money sometimes. And I just have to charge something for it, because I was only thinking I was going to sell 2 of them anyway. So I'm charging something for it just to get some of my time, back, because I could have been doing other stuff, but I appreciate that. So, but people don't understand crafters. We are kind of crazy though. To cut fabric up and then sew it right back together. I can understand. So, let's see what people are doing. Robin saying she's quilting, so she's still quilting. That's good. She's told us at the top. Sheila says, "I'm working on masks for my granddaughter. She is in college and will need them when school starts." Yes, she will. That's awesome. And Diane talking about, no, it was crying time. Teresa's eating. Dee Dee says, "I'm working on adding the corners to the purple rail fence quilt you will be quilting for me. Have a blank of time." having a blank of time. I know what you mean now. One of your videos told about putting on corners, and I can't remember which. The corners, it was probably on a string quilt where I did half square triangles in the corners for my strings to make them turn the corner. I think people was overthinking you didn't have to do a miter corner for strings if you didn't want to. Robin says that, Robin, what are you quilting? Is Quilting for the Soul is asking. Mary says, "T, has your husband been called back to work yet?" Nope. He has not. And I know that, the unemployment, the extra thing is going to be ceasing in a minute. But in all honesty, I really don't care. I prefer him to be safe, because they're not practicing any safe conditions at that job. They're still working. It was just that his type of machine, the pieces that he works for, they weren't I got way more pieces than I need. I was just trying to get different fabrics out here. The parts that he make, they weren't getting orders for, so he got laid off. And they haven't called him or anything. He went once, like to pick up his final, when he went to pick up his final paycheck, and I don't think that they've called or anything like that since. So yeah. Well, they have a house number, because they don't have his cell number, so I don't think they've called, because I'm normally the one that answers the house phone. He never answers the house phone. So, but yep. So we're just sewing pieces on that are not the same fabric. Just trying to not use the same fabric if I can. I have accidentally used the same fabric twice, but if it's not consistent from block to block, you won't even know it when you look at the whole quilt. So it's kind of what I'm doing here. If I accidentally sew one on there, I just keep it moving. Diane says, "I'm cutting the last border for a UFO." That's pretty cool. getting stuff done. And Mary's so nosy, want to know what Teresa is eating. Pamela Throne is here. She says, "Hi T, I've enjoyed watching you tonight. Just east of Nashville, Tennessee. I have a Christmas version of a pineapple started. Watched you so on yours. It's making me want to pull mine back out to work on." Yes, get it out. Get it done. That's kind of how I did the third pineapple blocks, because I was going to use that technique, because like I said, I'm doing it for a lecture. So yeah, I just did that technique just to get it done. So sometimes when you see people working on something, or if they have a challenge, that's a good time for you to get back motivated and get your project done. That's pretty cool. Let's see. But the results are so beautiful. I'd rather be my kind of quilting. Wind Sprinter says, "T, does your pineapple pattern address how to combine color combinations in the pattern for similar results to what you are making? For example, dark versus light colors versus the patterns." I tell you where you're using your lights, your dark, and your focus fabric. Yes, it does, for the design that I'm making. And that's why Mary Didi has the pineapple AccuQuilt die. And that's why Melissa didn't have the die. Between the both of them, they wanted the pattern because they wanted to know where I was putting particular colors, because it can be confusing. I remember the first night that I came in here, I wasn't really prepared. I knew in my head what I wanted to do, and then I was sitting here trying to sew, and I didn't know which piece went where. It was kind of crazy, but I got through it. We got a good chunk of it sewed. On the 4 blocks, we got to the adding the blacks on, but I didn't have enough time to add the triangles on. And so then I didn't work on it for a while. And then while I was off camera, I figured out how I wanted to set my quilt from that point. So I do address where every fabric goes, and it's by the numbers, the alphabets that are indicated on your go die. I made this a go friendly pattern, so if you had the go, it had the same reference alphabets as what's on your go, but then I added additional information to make it easier for you to cut, because I'm not cutting in the traditional way that they tell you to cut the pineapple, even with your go. So you still need a little bit more to know what I'm cutting, because you don't need every piece for this pattern in light and dark. It's kind of weird. Just depends on where it's going in the quilt top. Mary says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, T, that a place doesn't practice being safe for their staff." No. And I was just worried every time he went to work. Now, the thing is, he's a machinist, and he operates 3 machines, so he's spread pretty far between people while he's working. But then you've got to go to the break room. You've got to go to the clock in and out place. You may have to go talk to a supervisor. Somebody may want to come ask you questions. Nobody has on masks. Nobody is using hand sanitizer. It's like, this is too much. I can't. You're just trusting that these people are not ever going to contract COVID. But if one person does, it's going to close that entire shop. Just go to the break room. Oops. Did I sew the same thing on here? Yes, I did. I'm sewing my chain on pieces. Crazy. The one good thing is it won't be wasted. It's 10:56. And Mary is saying to Pamela, a Christmas one would be pretty. Yes, all of them are pretty. Somebody posted one in Teaquilts group when I first did the first one. Made a huge bed size one. It was so pretty. And Teresa saying, "Thank you, T. Good night." Good night, Teresa. And Diane says, we don't answer the house phone, the machine gets it. Yeah, I kind of just have my phones because they're in all these areas where I'm working anyway. And so I kind of have them there, and then I can kind of quick look at it. And if it's one of those spam callers or politician callers, you know, the people that you don't hear from until it's time to vote for them, but you never hear from them once they're voted in, I just make sure I put everybody on block. That's one of the reasons why I have them, and then I can look at them to know if I need to block them. So, and I do answer my house phone because, well, if it's somebody I know, because I don't use my cell phone with all these different areas that I work in. I don't take my cell phone everywhere I go, but if the house phone ring, I can hear it throughout my entire house. So that's another reason my family will call me on my house phone, and if I don't answer my house phone, then they'll call me on the cell. They figure I'm not home. Because if I'm home, I don't answer the cell phone. I never have it. I only use my cell for real when I'm out. So let's see. Oh, Teresa's eating clam fettuccine. You know, I don't like clams. I'm a pasta person. I love fettuccine, so I had ordered fettuccine in clam sauce, and I could not eat that stuff. Somebody, and it was funny. Well, it wasn't funny. It was horrible. Somebody had bought it for me because it was my birthday, and I felt really bad that I didn't like it, so I was trying to still eat it anyway, even though I didn't like it, and then my gag reflexes started popping in, and I was trying to drink water so I wouldn't throw this stuff up. It was horrible. I do not like clam sauce. My body does not like clam sauce, but I love seafood, other seafood, so it's weird. And I was really surprised by that. I had no idea. I love Italian foods. St. Louis got a lot of great areas. Well, the best ones are on the south side, an area called the Hill. But we got a lot of places over there that makes good Italian food. Authentic Italians. It's really good. But I could not believe that I did not like fettuccine and clam sauce. And Winsper just said, thank you for your response. No problem. Dewana says, good night. My head is killing me. Hopefully you feel better. Hopefully you can take an aspirin or something for it as well. Good night, Mary. She's leaving too. We're going to be leaving here. It's 11 o'clock. Pamela says, I'll try to post some pictures in the Facebook group tomorrow. That would be awesome. And let's see. I've got some people that have asked to join. I'll take care of those once I get off the live. We're going to be ending in a little bit. And Diane says, I'm trying to finish so I can start Tom's Quilt of Valor. That's awesome. And don't force yourself to eat anything if it's not good. I was younger. That was a long time ago. And I've since had clam sauce again. And I just don't like it. I like white sauce, but I just don't like clam sauce. So, but yeah, I was younger and I felt so bad because we're in this Italian restaurant. This food costs all this money. They celebrate my birthday. It was a big group of people from the job. And yeah, I felt so bad. And I'm like, I just took it to go. And I just probably gave it to somebody else in my family to eat because I just couldn't eat it. But it was good if you like it. But my body couldn't take it. So, well, we're going to go ahead and end here. I'll probably stay up because I got about 2 or 3 more rounds to finish this off. so that I can get these 4 blocks done. I don't know if I'm going to sew on it anymore. It just depends on what's happening because I got a lot to do. Since I've been sick and then I didn't work, I worked on a pattern instead of working on stuff I need to be working on. I got like some little, she said they're going to be wall hangings, but they're just a little bit bigger than a placemat, but they're octagon in shape. So it's, to me, it's like a center table display or something about that size. So I got a couple of those for somebody I need to correct a quilt for. A lady that I quilted, my machine just went haywire in the middle of quilting something and I didn't catch it because I had stitched 4 other quilts for her. So I need to redo that, and I used the disappearing pen and then got sick, so I know I already got to remark it all. I'm just glad I didn't take the stitches out. So that's pretty cool. But Sharon Martin is here saying hi everyone. Hi Sharon. And quilting for the soul, Sarah saying good night T, and everyone be blessed. Thank you, and you too as well. Ellie saying good night T and everyone. Virgil saying good night. Sheila saying good night T and T Quilters. Melissa says Alfredo is the best. Yes it is. Yes it is. You are so right. And I love it with broccoli too. But that's going to be it. We're going to end. We're only 3 minutes over, so my husband can't complain too much. I'll go and let you all, the new people, into the Teaquilts Facebook group. And I will see you all Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for live chat. Talk to you all later. Good night, everybody. Stay safe and stay blessed.